Americans say Nebraska is the most boring state in the US. A flyover state. You just fly over it or drive through it, but almost never stop. This weekend I decided to come here and see what boring really looks like. My first impression of Nebraska is like a corn universe. Everywhere you look, just corn, miles and miles of it. At first I was like, how do people even eat this much corn? Then I found out they don't. Most of it actually goes to feed cows, and a bunch of it gets crushed, fermented, and distilled until it turns into ethanol. Yes, seriously, corn can turn into alcohol and then get mixed into gasoline. The regular 87 gas we use the most usually has about 10% corn-based ethanol in it. So basically, America's cows run on corn, and America's cars run on the corn too. Guess corn really is the hidden hero of America. Down below all this farmland, there's a huge underground water source, the Ogallala Aquifer. You can think of it like a giant sponge under the ground, holding water that stretches from South Dakota all the way down to Texas. It's massive, crossing 8 states, and covering more than 17,000 square miles. And if you even fly over this area and see those big green circles on the ground, that's the irrigation system spinning, pulling water straight from the Ogallala.
Just one of the innovative techniques today's Kansans use to get the most out of the more than 46 million acres of cropland in the state, on over 65,000 farms.
I noticed something interesting when I crossed from Colorado into Nebraska. I realized that whenever you are driving through the bigger towns or along the interstates, you will always find a Runza. I did a little digging. It's basically Nebraska's version of In-N-Out in California or Whataburger in Texas. Since I'm already in Nebraska, I had to try it. Hey sir.
What can I do for you?
Yeah, first time here, any recommends?
Oh, well, I'd always recommend the Runza. So,
The Runza, the sandwich?
yep.
Yeah, can I try that?
Yeah. And would you like just the original, the cheese, the Swiss mush, or on the back here, I have the barbecue bacon, spicy jack, cheeseburger, Southwest.
Well, that's a lot of options.
Yes, we do. And then the seasonal one right now is the Philly.
Okay. The cheeseburger looks pretty delicious. I'll try that one.
Try the cheeseburger one? Absolutely.
I heard only Nebraska has this.
For the
chain restaurant.
most part,
For the
we
most
have, I think, one in Iowa right now, a second one's about to open, and then one Colorado, I
Okay.
think, and maybe one other state. I can't remember that. And did you want the meal or just the Runza?
The meal, please.
Okay. And would you like fries, onion rings, or frings?
I'll do the onion rings.
Onion rings, absolutely. And a medium-sized strength okay for you?
Sure, yeah. Thank you so much. The very first Runza opened back in 1949, right here in Lincoln, Nebraska. It started as a small family spot, and somehow it turned into a local legend. Today, there are about 90 Runza locations, mostly across Nebraska, but you can also find a few in Colorado, Kansas, and Iowa. They make around $100 million a year. Not bad for beef and cabbage sandwich place, right? Alright, let's see. What do you got here? Oh, that's a taco. Looks like a big taco, like huge taco. Let me try the most famous Runza sandwich, the cheeseburger one. It's actually not bad. Fried onions. I just realized that the cheeseburgers Runza sandwich is only $5.99, so $6. That's actually pretty good deal. And we actually got a $2.76 off. And the total is $19.43. Please let me know what you think about the price. I think that's pretty good. An actual meal for 2 people. Everyone says Kansas is the breakfast capital of the world. So I was thinking, since Nebraska is right next to it, maybe it deserves second place. So I got a southern omelette, and she got a southern benedict. Looks pretty delicious, right? The portions were huge and the staff were super friendly. The only surprise was it's actually a bit more expensive than I expected. So for 2 people, $42 and plus $8 tips. So the total is $50. The city I'm in right now is called Kearney. Locals told me it's a college town, but to me it feels more like one of those must-stop cities when you are driving across Nebraska. Once you leave in town and get onto those country roads, you start seeing all those big round stacks in the fields. For a kid who grew up in a big city in China, I've never seen anything like this before. I got curious, what are those even for? Later, I found out they are called hay bales. Farmers use them to feed cattle and other livestock during the winter. It might sound random, but little things like that always fascinate me. Things that are so ordinary here, but completely new to me. I'm not really the kind of traveler who checks off every must-visit place. I like it better when the trip feels a little random, a little unpredictable, more like an expedition than a plan. But traveling like that does come with a few downsides. Like, I was just trying to film some cornfield shots, so I turned off the main road and took one of those dirty roads. The problem is, it's been raining non-stop those past few days, and those country roads are full of mud and puddles. But I mean, life is a movie, right? So I was like, let's YOLO. And yeah, it turned into a swamp. It literally feels like I'm driving a boat. And my car nearly got stuck several times. So here's a tip, don't copy me. Luck is one thing, but if your car gets trapped out here, no one's coming to push it for you. I'm gonna try the steak quesadilla.
Steak quesadilla?
Yeah. Question, ma'am. What's the name for this town? We just
Deweese,
Deweese?
Nebraska. It's a very small town.
Okay. How many people live here?
In this town, I think it's 25. like that.
25?
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah. But it's pretty busy here, like with the bars.
Okay,
Like,
yeah.
it brings a lot of people.
It's
in.
definitely more than 30 people here.
Yeah. People eat. They all over. People come in here and eat.
When you hear Nebraska, you probably think of Warren Buffett. He lives in Omaha, which is also the biggest city in the state. But honestly, like I mentioned earlier, big cities and famous spots don't really do it for me. At least not on this trip. I prefer the little places that nobody really pays attention to. 你有没有想象过一天，我在内布拉斯加的农村里面，坐在车顶吃饭？So I grabbed my phone, zoomed in on the map, and I landed on a little town called Red Cloud. This random town I found on the map turned out to be one of the most complete literary towns in America, because the writer Willa Cather once lived here and immortalized this land in her stories. In American literature, her name often stands beside Hemingway and Faulkner, one of the key voices of the early 20th century. She was born in Virginia in 1873, but when she was 9, her family moved west to Red Cloud, Nebraska. 7 children chasing a new beginning on the open prairie, and that's what she wrote about: the courage of immigrants, the solitude of the plains, and the beauty hidden in ordinary lives. Back then, this region was filled with Czech, German and Swedish settlers who plowed the soil and built their futures from nothing. Their story became her stories. In Old Pioneers, she told a Swedish family's struggle to build a farm. In My Antonia, she captures the lives of Czech immigrants. And with one of ours, she won the Pulitzer Prize in 1923. I've never read her books before this trip, so on my way here, I played a few of her passages in the car, just to get a sense of how she saw this place. But honestly, being here today, I feel like time had stopped. The streets are quiet, maybe too quiet. The gas station and one small grocery store were the only places open. I thought Willa Cather's legacy would bring at least a few visitors, maybe even help the local economy a little. Maybe I just came at the wrong time. Standing here, I couldn't help but feel like history slowly fades, not in one big moment, but little by little, until one day, it's almost gone. I think I'll end this video with a line from Willa Cather. She wrote it in her 1913 novel, Old Pioneers. We come and go, but the land is always here. And the people who love it and understand it are the people who own it for a little while. That's exactly how I feel about this place. It's nothing but land. And somehow, that's everything.
Leaving from St. Louis, headed for the coast. No telling when or if you're coming home. And half the time you knew me, you were out there on the road. It's a wonder that we've come this far.